News.
Now let's take a look at how far the unconstitutional Constitution Amendment Bill 2020 has come. In March 2018, a few months after the controversial 2017 general election, the president and his main competitor, Raila Odinga, decided to bury the hatchet and embrace each other in what became to be known as the handshake. But how that turns to a proposal to amend the Constitution still remains a mystery. Clement Masombo takes us through the BBI journey.
What started like a truce between President Uhuru Kenyatta and the ODM leader Raila Odinga ended up being the Constitution Amendment Bill 2020. It dates back to the March 2018 handshake between the two leaders, who initially told Kenyans it was simply meant to unite the country. But the BBI journey has had its own share of ups and downs. At times the amendment process was tedious and sometimes divisive, pitting the political class against one another and against the electorate. According to the initiators, the BBI was conceived for the purposes of inclusivity and bringing together Kenyan communities after the bruising 2017 elections. The two leaders developed a 9-point agenda in the spirit of handshake, and a task force was then appointed, chaired by the late Garissa Senator Yusuf Haji, to come up with a report by November 2019. The report was to be developed from what Kenyans needed to be addressed to heal the deeply divided society. In January 2020, the President gazetted a steering committee on the implementation of the Building Bridges to a United Kenya task force. The committee was directed to submit its comprehensive review of the BBI by June 30th, 2020. The committee embarked on a countrywide popularization tour, during which a number of issues arose. Among them was the proposal to change the constitution to fix a few sections. On 26 November 2020, political leaders from across the country and members of the public gathered at the Bomas of Kenya in Nairobi for the official unveiling of the Building Bridges Initiative report. The Constitution Amendment Bill 2020 was then introduced in Parliament in November 2020. The BBI Steering Committee report, which was handed over to President Uhuru Kenyatta, was turned into a Constitution Amendment Bill. The BBI Secretariat, co-chaired by Junet Mohamed and Dennis Waweru, was set up and spearheaded the signature collection and later submitted the signatures to the IEBC for verification. At this point, however, a group of activists comprising of economist Dr. David Ndii and 3 others moved to High Court seeking a determination on whether the basic structure of the Constitution can be amended. On January 21, 2021, the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights and 4 other law professors were enjoined in the petition before the High Court issued conservatory orders to the IEBC, stopping them from organizing a referendum. On May 13, 2021, the High Court annulled the BBI referendum process, throwing the future of the initiative into uncertainty. A bench comprising of Justices Joel Ngugi, George Odunga, Jairus Ngaah, Teresia Madheka and Chacha Mwita ruled that the Constitution bears certain features on its basic structures that cannot be amended. In their ruling, the judges observed that the BBI referendum was not a will of the people, but rather based on changing political and socio-economic interests. On May 16, 2021, the Attorney General filed an appeal against the ruling by the High Court. The appeal was for the second time thrown out on August 20, 2021, after the Court of Appeal upheld the decision by the High Court. What will follow later was a second appeal at the Supreme Court on November 2, 2021, by the Attorney General Kihara Kariuki. In his 5-point grounds of appeal, the AG wanted the Apex Court to overturn the decision by the Appellate Court and declare that the Constitution Amendment Bill 2021 complied with all requirements to warrant a referendum. The push was perceived as the final bullet to save the BBI. The appeal was, however, dealt a final blow on March 31, 2022, when the Supreme Court declared the Constitution Amendment Bill 2020 unconstitutional. Clement Masombo.